they are, once again, looking to close this investigation as soon as possible without identifying who could have brought this substance into the White House.
Weird. Now, that was Colorado Congresswoman Lauren Boebert, who is never afraid to say the quiet part out loud. Now, the White House just wants this whole cocaine scandal to go away as quietly and as quickly as possible. It barely lift a finger to find out who brought an illegal drug into the most secure building in the world. Well, joining me now is someone who's been in that building quite a bit, Kimberly Guilfoyle, host of the Kimberly Guilfoyle Show on Rumble. All right, KG, they haven't found the person. They probably don't care. I mean, do you think that the Secret Service really actually knows who did this?
Yeah, and I'll tell you, I have a lot of respect for the Secret Service. I mean, they were with us night and day for years, and they have incredible people, men and women that serve and put their lives on the line for the president, for the first family, and they have really talented people there as well. But this is a very sad day because I predicted this, unfortunately. Probably people at home aren't surprised that, of course, nothing to see here, folks. We don't know. We don't have a suspect. Okay, great. So what did they do? They identified that, in fact, it was cocaine, but no idea who it came from or who put it there. That makes absolutely no sense. I have spent thousands of hours in the White House. I have slept in the White House. There are cameras and agents. Every 2 feet that you take, there is someone there watching and protecting. So it's nonsensical. It defies logic and reason to think in any way, shape, or form that they don't know whose cocaine it was. So what I can only imagine is that they are being precluded from divulging that information and coming forward with this erroneous and ridiculous, decision to say, well, we just don't know who it is. We don't have a suspect. It makes no sense. I mean, you think about it, Carl. Okay? You're there in the White House. You've got agents all over the place, doing their job, paying attention, communicating. Yeah. Let's go look at the circumstantial evidence. You have a crackhead, who was staying in the White House and had been there a couple days before that. Okay, this isn't like supposition. This isn't it's just the truth. I mean, It's on video. We know that this is a man who had drug problems and smoked crack cocaine. You've got cocaine in the White House. All of a sudden, they're like, we're not sure who it belongs to. Yeah. It makes absolutely no sense. And it's sad. I mean, do you imagine how insane the press would be if this was the Trump White House? I mean, they would have Don Jr. or Eric or whoever, in jail, or Trump himself in 30 seconds. Yeah, hauled in front of whatever committee or Congress or agency. Yeah, but here's the thing. Why don't they just drug test everybody who works at the White House currently? And maybe include Hunter in that. I mean, part of his plea deal was, in fact, that he had to stay sober for the next 2 years. Shouldn't it be a reasonable request? And obviously, look, if Don Jr. was mixed up in this, he would probably volunteer to take a drug test to prove his innocence. Oh, of course, because innocent people don't try to hide, facts. And the bottom line is they could do that. They actually should. I mean, if you're like Hunter's probation officer, you'd be like, well, wait a second, maybe we need to drug test you and see what's going on here because you're not supposed to be around any of that. And it's just embarrassing because it just seems like, these people inside the swamp, they're probably just laughing at us because they can get away with absolutely everything. Yeah. I mean, if there was a murder in the White House, they'd say, we have no suspect. We've investigating it and the case is closed. I'm not even kidding you. I really believe that at this point. It's that absurd. Right. And look, obviously, we don't know, on a legal and factual level, we don't know whose cocaine this is, but I wasn't born last night. But Kim, we're seeing stuff. The point is, whether it's Hunter's or not, or Joe Biden's or whoever's, someone who works in the White House, they can know who it is and find 100%. That out because it's ridiculous. Look at the cameras, folks. 100%. And it turns out, we found out today that there was weed in there twice before this that never made its way out to the American people. It's just drugs in the White House now. That should be. I don't know. It's like a Netflix Narcos special or something, and I just don't know. I mean, why don't they just say the weed probably belonged to Cheech and Chong, right? Right. Yeah. Breaking Bad in the White House. But the other thing, too, is this laptop keeps rolling out. New stuff drops every day. How many pictures of this of stuff doing stuff wrong, going 172 miles an hour, smoking crack, doing a variety of other things? Why would you document this? Why would you document it? And why isn't anybody doing anything about it? It's like the most persuasive evidence you can put in front of a jury, be like, oh, there he is again, and there he is violating the laws and doing it. It's unbelievable to me. But you know what? You brought up something super interesting, which is we're seeing more of this come out. There's been a constant flow of information, photos, videos. It's a nice little rollout and a reveal. I think this is purposeful because eventually they know they cannot go the distance 2024 with Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. They want them out of the White House. So they're going to continue to do this because there are a lot of Democrats very unhappy with the direction that this is going, and they know they cannot win and prevail with Joe Biden, and they don't plan on just handing it over to Donald Trump.
Right.
But Donald Trump is going to take it
and
all the way.
Nancy Mace, Congresswoman Nancy Mace, actually, we caught up with her on our cameras this morning, and she did not pull any punches on this stuff.
I want to hear why the most secure location on earth with the best law enforcement in the world can't find the cocaine caper. I mean, come on. It's bullshit.
Yeah, I happen to agree.
Yes, that's a Southern phrase.
Yeah.
She's absolutely right. And it's sad because when you think about it from a national security, perspective and just making sure that the White House is in fact secure, protected, the president, the family, all of the above, the people that work there. Wow, what a breach of security that is. I mean, if they can just load some illegal drugs in there, do whatever, nothing to see here, folks. Who's coming in there and doing that? That is a huge problem.
Right.
And there should be a major investigation into it because maybe the Secret Service is not going to give you the suspect, but, Congress should delve into it and hold some hearings and get the information and get the logs because this is absolute nonsense and a cover up.
The thing that concerns me is it takes less anthrax to kill a person than it does cocaine to get someone high. And if you can get that in there, you can get anything in there. And that makes me very, very
absolutely
nervous.
Weapons, right?
Yeah.
If you're able to get cocaine in there like that, why not? Yeah, you could get anthrax or some other, substance of nefarious means to be able to do harm.
Yeah.
There should be, an outrage and uproar over this and a conclusion. I mean, pathetic. You can't
100%.
Figure it out and you're in the White House with all the resources. No.
No, exactly. And at this point, you could even get Parmesan cheese in there for Hunter. All right, coming up, Kimberly Guilfoyle, we appreciate it.